What did you do to her? You killed Samara, didn't you? You killed her when your wife
My wife was not supposed to have a child!
Stranga Games, a solo developer based out of Sydney, Australia, creates pixel art adventure games, mostly featuring horror elements such as monsters, ghosts, and yokai. Stranga crafts these experiences with tools found in an open source engine called Adventure Game Studio. I played Just Ignore Them, which uses a point-and-click interface for exploring a variety of frightening locales and solving inventory-based puzzles. The story pulled me in and kept me hooked as I wanted to learn more about the strange monsters and mysterious characters. The first game I played by Stranga, Red Witch, mostly takes place in the dreams of a young girl named Ro. While asleep, she travels to an Asian-inspired afterlife where she encounters tormented spirits. Through dialogue choices and inventory-based puzzles, she can arrive at many different endings based on player decisions. Unlike Just Ignore Them, Red Witch uses a more traditional control scheme where you move your character with an analog stick or keyboard directional controls. Red Witch is a very short game that can be completed easily within 15 minutes once you learn the different dream environments. I found this encouraged me to experiment with my dialogue choices and try to find different solutions for better outcomes. My favorite Stranga game so far is My Big Sister. While this game controls very similar to Red Witch, My Big Sister featured a multi-chapter story with plenty of mystery, mayhem, and intrigue. To me, My Big Sister combined the best elements of Stranga's past work, the rich story of Just Ignore Them, and the Asian aesthetic and polished controls of Red Witch. While I enjoyed the music found in previous games, the music in My Big Sister truly stood out as memorable and elevated the experience. Like Red Witch, My Big Sister features multiple endings conveniently determined by choices made in the game's final chapter. I replayed many times to watch the different endings. This brings us to the latest Stranga game, Ashina The Red Witch. Serving as a prequel to My Big Sister, Ashina focuses on Ash, a young woman who longs to own the bathhouse where she works and lives with her sister Tina. After a long day of work and dinner with her sister, Ash goes to bed only to be woken by a stranger watching her television. The stranger turns out to be Tonto, a mischievous yokai with a bottomless stomach. After a humorous exchange, Tonto flees the bathhouse apartment with Ash in pursuit. The little scamp took her late mother's pendant, and Ash cannot let it go. Walking outside transports Ash to a bus stop where an unusual driver transports her to Shiruda, a traditional Japanese town inhabited by a variety of yokai. Upon confronting Tonto, Ash meets a raccoon sushi shop owner named Kanu. Kanu threatens, Tonto into admitting he gave the pendant to Mama. To regain the lost pendant, Ash must assemble Tonto's boombox so that he can wake up Mama, who has just started a 1,000-year nap. In order to find all the missing pieces of the boombox and put it back together, Ash meets a variety of interesting yokai ranging from the adorable Choman to the friendly multi-armed tattoo artist named Hoji. The amount of dialogue options impressed me as a few of the yokai chatted with Ash about the town and the various yokai. Ash discovers she is now in the spirit world. Many of the yokai express surprise that a human is visiting them. The demo ends shortly after Ash assembles the boombox and finds Tonto's mixtape. Tonto wakes up Mama, and Ash talks to her. Right now, Ashina The Red Witch is live on Kickstarter, and I'm hoping that Stranga smashes the goal and reaches the stretch goals for extra content. Additional planned features include mini-games, a remixed soundtrack in addition to the game's already phenomenal soundtrack, and a trophy system for in-game achievements. If successful, the game will release on PC via Steam and itch.io with planned ports to the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. Please see the video description for a link to the Kickstarter campaign, and a link to the free Prologue demo that was featured in this video.
Mr. Morgan!
Wishlist. You get home all the time with mine in your sleep. Even the damn horses.
Mr. Morgan, come out of there!
Those creatures. Oh, Christ. I think she's showing.
She's still showing.
shall never stop.